Nowadays, it seems like AI is everywhere, and if you're in the content creation world, it's a scary time to know that one input can write an entire script, voiceover audio, produce a video, and maybe even create video games. However, this is the real Deltia from Deltiasgaming.com. Look, I'm not a robot, and today we're going to address AI in MMORPGs, what the future could look like, and is it worth it? It seems to me that there's really no big new innovations in the MMO industry, and you're getting the same old recycled content and monetization systems that keep players busy on the gear grind treadmill along with the wallet treadmill. And let's address how future of AI could shape MMORPGs, the good, the bad, and maybe the dreadfully ugly. So first we need to address what is AI. So in modern society, the term AI, artificial intelligence, is thrown around all the time, but really people don't know what it is, including myself. So when I hear AI, I instantly think of Terminator 2 movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger fighting off the relentless robot attack from the future, but in reality, that's not what AI is. Well, yet. AI in its current form, or narrow AI, performs tasks similar to human intelligence. I think of it as a complex algorithm that filters information, learns from large data sets, and has massive processing power. So this is what's being used today by high schoolers to complete homework assignments in seconds. Not judging, I would have done the same thing, so I could jump back into video games. Am I right? Then you have artificial general intelligence. This is the holy grail the tech bros are all chasing. Self-learning and possibly self-replicating machines that can go beyond human intelligence. We don't know how to achieve this or if it's even possible, but one thing is certain, technologists are driving towards this end. So the current iteration of AI that we experience are chatbots, machine learning, large language models. What they're really meant to do is speed up simple tasks that humans can do, possibly taking away a lot of jobs, but giving us a lot more things, and maybe even video games. So now we're going to talk about what is an MMORPG. Most of you know this. It blends role-playing game elements in a massive, constantly online world where thousands or even millions of players share the same environment and interact in real time. The main two components of MMORPGs, in my opinion, are progression and socialization. So progress is the most important aspect of an MMORPG because it gives you something to work towards constantly. What other single-player games can last for decades? Okay, maybe Skyrim and mod-heavy games, but in general, MMORPGs and live service constantly gives you new things to do, collect, and achieve. You're always after that new gear set, skill, character, achievement, and so on. And once you've maxed out one character, why not start another so you can experience it all over again? The harder and the more complex the game, the better the sense of achievement when beating that raid or ranking in the top 100 of PvP. The next major part is socializing in the MMORPG, interacting with a ton of players. A little bit harder for people that are socially isolated like me. Let me explain. People in these games are free to roam massive areas, interact with players, right? So this gives MMO an advantage and a disadvantage over single-player games. They are both alive and filled with real people. And for better or worse, this can be a blessing or a curse. When socializing, it's a blessing. You find like-minded people all over the world, and you're going to share in whatever activity you guys enjoy together. Talking trash in Discord, blasting people in PvP, collecting gear, working towards raids, whatever it is. I've been in sweaty hardcore PvP guilds, casual trading guilds, socializing, crafting, you name it. But MMORPGs have progressed a lot when it comes to socialization, or regressed, making them more solo-friendly. In fact, most modern MMORPGs can be played entirely solo, or only requiring player interaction for multiplayer dungeons, raids, etc., which are needed to get the best gear and items. Remember the days of Ultima Online? That was 1998. Some of you probably weren't born yet. But back then, we had to sit on the corner and say, plate mail leggings, 500 gold, whisper. And then you would just negotiate someone like trading and bartering. That's a far cry from modern day MMORPGs. And that leads us to with AI in the modern day MMORPG. It can both hinder and enhance progression and socialization. If you take a look at Skyrim's AI chat mod on nexusmods.com, this mod brings NPCs alive. It's going to use the large language model text-to-speech. So now you can have conversations with NPCs that aren't programmed, but random. thus extending the life of this game and any game that kind of utilizes this technology. As AI develops, mods that imitate lifelike behavior in chat might become indistinguishable from real interactions. In fact, it might be happening right now, and we don't even know it. Okay, enough Terminator stuff, you get the point. And the point is this. You can soon create your own MMORPG or AI RPG without needing other people, but having unlimited amount of random interactions that simulate real people. One has to wonder if this is a good thing or not. Leave me a comment below. AI and progression. This is another system that you can understand would have a massive upside. The first procedurally generated game is as early as Beneath Apple Manor or Rogue around 1980. Random generated dungeons that go on forever have been around for, yes, 40 years. Meanwhile, Bethesda capitalized on this in the RPG format with Elder Scrolls Daggerfall, featuring insanely large dungeons and terrain even with very old tech. Now imagine the power of AI to generate massive worlds. However, we already have a direct comparison of this that wasn't a smashing commercial success, and that's called Starfield. I, like many others, enjoyed Starfield, but having a sprawling, endless world isn't enough. It needs to be interesting. And what makes it interesting is finding randomness, cool gear sets, items, or NPCs with unexpected encounters. That's what makes Skyrim so special, right? Is meeting someone in a tavern, having a conversation that could lead to a 4-hour quest confronting Molag Bal or some other Daedric entity. You just never knew what was going to happen, and something that was innocent and simple could lead to this huge, sprawling, awesome narrative with unexpected consequences. And this is where I think AI will be absolutely amazing, is being able to create these unique experiences almost endlessly based on what you like and enjoy, leading you to that sense of that Skyrim 4-hour, where's this going to lead quest constantly over and over. However, there's going to be a big downside, and something we are fortunately seeing in the gaming industry and I guess many industries, and that's layoffs. Companies are going to do what's in their best interest, and if they can make games 10 times cheaper, they will. I'm a human being, I do the same thing, I'm not above this. This is going to result in hundreds if not thousands of job loss, artists, graphic designers, engineers, voice actors, you name it. And maybe little old YouTubers. And this is something I struggle with in the content creation world, wondering how long I'm going to be able to do this. Unlike some of you watching, I'm pretty much worthless with my hands. I can microwave a meal now and then, mow my yard, maybe change my vehicle's oil if I watch 50 YouTube videos and spill oil all over the ground. That's about it. Now imagine those people at scale losing their jobs. It's a harsh reality, and we should consider before jumping on the AI bandwagon. Now, if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you know I'm a huge BG3 fan. The sheer volume of branching dialogue, choices, and endings is just breathtaking, and every campaign feels like a unique experience, even if I romance Lysel every time. I know I might be the only weirdo that has hots for lizards, but hey, it's a video game. So AI will be able to predict what you like, similar to a Spotify playlist, giving you a never-ending buffet of choices and consequences, leading to that endless loop of gameplay tailored to your individual personality. And to that end, the AI or NPC bad guys will become much more realistic and engage in combat based off your gameplay. Imagine a difficulty setting Terminator, where the AI knows all your moves and tendencies and makes it impossible for you to win. You know you sadistic Elden Ring fans will love that, right? But if we go back to the point where I criticize myself for not being able to do basically anything with my hands, well, that also applies to coding and tech related stuff as well. So I'm not the guy who can develop or mod or even make a game, but with AI, spit in a few prompts and you could potentially create your own game in your own universe. Moreover, you could be the dungeon master over a campaign that plays out over an interface you create in real time, changing the world dynamically with your group of friends or even solo. But in MMORPG, you won't be the only one. So you can also expect another downside, which is cheats, exploits, and trolling to also escalate and scale. As people find loopholes in systems and cracks codes, it will be much harder to create a balanced environment and may ultimately be impossible. We already know that MMORPG's launch is filled with bugs due to its complexity, player interactions. So when you go from 100 private testers to 1 million active players, people are just going to find weird, goofy things, exploits, item dupes, and so on that developers just didn't see coming. And stuff the developers could never anticipate it before with such a large scale and AI cheaters, well, that's going to be a lot to sift out. That leads us to another point, is how is AI going to influence MMORPG monetization? You have current subscription-based models, free-to-play models, which heavily rely on microtransaction. Any game that is labeled as free is anything but. But with AI, the sheer volume of potential cosmetics and little goofy things you can buy is near endless. With just a click of a button, people can make it themselves independently. The game could charge you. However, it's likely that the game will incorporate the blockchain, Bitcoin, or alternative NFTs in the game's ecosystem. Now, I'm not knowledgeable on this topic, and this is not financial advice, don't sue me, but anytime there is some new system, there will be those early adopters that take advantage of it while many else lag behind. NFTs or some other type of monetary model could be the tipping point making AI and MMORPGs the games of the future. So final thoughts, and there's a prediction here. I think AI at large scale can either help or hinder humanity. At a micro scale, I think it does much of the same for MMORPGs. On the one hand, you'll be able to create much more sprawling games with limitless dialogue, NPCs, interaction, and progress. But at what cost? How many developers, designers, studios will be closing due to this AI large language models and development being outsourced to this new technology? Moreover, will MMORPGs go further on the isolation, single-player feel, or will they actually incentivize people to group up? I think we both know the answer, and here's a simple test. Go to a busy restaurant on a Friday night. Look at some random couples on a date. How much time are they spending eye-to-eye conversing? Or are they looking at their phones? Today, we spend more time documenting our lives than living it. Yes, I'm just an old boomer stuck in the past, fine, I'll admit that. But maybe that past wasn't so bad. Maybe standing on a busy market in Ultima Online in 1998 screaming plate mail leggings for sale wasn't so bad. As long as we can leverage AI to improve our lives without sacrificing the human element, I'm all for it. But buyer beware. So that's a lot. Where was I right? Where was I wrong? I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments. Look, life's changing, and that's what AI is going to bring to us, for better or for worse. I think it'll enhance some elements of games. I'm worried about the human cost and people losing their jobs, including myself if I'm being fully transparent. But ultimately, we have to grow, adapt, and survive. That's what I'm going to do. So I appreciate you watching this video. Leave me a comment and like if you got anything out of this video. Thanks for watching.